Hey guys, it's John from Fish and Pickup. Today I'm going to talk to you about how I fucked over 200 girls in the past 1.5 years. So a lot of guys think this is impossible, or they think it's just like a fantasy or completely unrealistic. But in reality, if you're operating at an advanced or elite level of game, this isn't really too far off from what's possible. So I'm kind of going to break down exactly how this happened. So for the past year and a half, I was going out 4, maybe 5 nights a week. That's kind of where it all begins. We typically call that night game. So for those 4 or 5 nights a week, I was hitting up bars, nightclubs, venues that had a large number of women, and attractive women at that. From there, you're trying to pull every night, and by pull I mean take a girl home from the club. And then the girls that have bad logistics, your logistical situation is kind of like, who is she there with? She might be there with close friends and they won't let her leave. She might be there with family, they won't let her leave. She might have to fly home in the morning and therefore she can't leave with you. She might be the designated driver and can't leave with you. She might have work at 7 a.m., whatever. If her logistics are bad, or she's just not down at the time, you take a phone number. With the phone number, you're collecting maybe 5 to 10 phone numbers per night. You hit up all those phone numbers the next day, you schedule out your dates. And then on the dates, you kind of improve the logistical situation. So on a date, you have the girl one-on-one, so there's no friends to cock block. You have her at a venue, typically within a few blocks from your house. So after you eat or have a drink or coffee or whatever, you can walk back to your place to hang out and typically, have sex. She's not on some kind of time constrained schedule, etc. So a date kind of gives you a better situation to improve your logistics. So over that year and a half, 4 or 5 nights out a week, trying to pull every set. In a set, it would be like an interaction that you have with a group of people. So every interaction you have, you're trying to take that girl that you like home. If she has bad logistics to go home or just isn't down right then, you grab her phone number, you try to set up a date, and then you try to close it on the date. So it's important to note that, that 200 girls in a year and a half, that figure does not include nights you didn't go out, nights that you went out but you didn't pull, nights that you pulled but you didn't close, and by close I mean have sex with the girl. It doesn't include dates that you had that you didn't close. So there's going to be a lot of girls where you have the first date and she just puts on a hard rule like, I don't have sex on the first date, or I only have sex with boyfriends, or I want to get to know you more, you're going to need multiple dates. So that 200 girls a year and a half, that doesn't even include like the countless dates that I went on where it ends up like in a blowjob or a hand job or like a makeout or just like an awesome interaction with a girl that's it doesn't even become hardcore sexual on the first date. Or you have all these amazing interactions at the club but maybe you don't pull, or maybe you have amazing interactions and you pull but it doesn't close. That figure, that 200 figure is just closes. That's sex with new girls. So when you're living like the kind of really advanced player lifestyle, you're meeting so many new girls every day, you're seeing so many different girls, you're constantly having new dates, you have a rotation of, typically mine was between like 6 and 8 girls, and by rotation I mean just like a harem of steady women that's kind of like repeat sex. It's like almost like having like multiple girlfriends. These girls are pretty close with you on some level. You see them each maybe like once a week. So achieving this level of results is totally possible. And when you compare that to like the average guy's lifetime partners of like 7, that's a statistic. It's kind of like a huge difference. Like I typically average about 10 to 12 new partners per month on average. That's 30 days in a month. So that means 1 out of every 3 days you have a new partner, or it's usually a little bit quicker. And that doesn't even include all the nights that you stayed in with fuck buddies, the nights that you didn't pull, the nights that you pulled and didn't close, and the dates you didn't close. And kind of something to add on to this is you can kind of add on to like the total amount of leads that you get, so to speak. To borrow an analogy from sales, by approaching some girls during the day, which I typically don't do a whole lot, but you can approach girls during the day, give phone numbers there, convert them to dates. The reason I don't really do too much day game is because the sets are kind of, separated, the interactions are there's too much time between the interactions in a club. You can just kind of like boom, boom, boom. During the day, you're kind of like walking around, you see a pretty girl, talk to her. You might not see another pretty girl for a half hour or something like that. So it's kind of like inefficient, which is why I don't really do it. I have my hands full with all the nighttime stuff anyways. Another thing you can do to kind of add to the leads that funnel down into who you have sex with is do online game. Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, Match.com, that kind of thing. Tinder's actually a really reliable way to get solid dates. I would say most matches I get on Tinder end up converting into a date, and if you know how to run a date correctly, which we talk about in different areas on our site, those will convert into sex as well. So, kind of like a closing thought, we have, as part of our product, our Seduction Mind Hacks product, we kind of show the correct way to execute the night and how to pull sets and how to get the numbers and kind of frame the number, close, getting the phone number, so to speak, to set up a date. And then we also have dates shown and stuff like that. So until next time, this is John from Fish and Pickup, and thanks for watching. So if you're interested in finding out more about how to seduce women, click the link below to see hidden camera footage of the step-by-step process I use to meet women, take them home, and fuck them. All of this is available on my website, seductionmindhackslive.com.